What's My Line? Brought to you by Geritol, the high-potency vitamin iron-rich tonic in liquid or tablets to help you feel stronger. And now, let's all play What's My Line? And now, live from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, the delightful star of stage and television, Miss Arlene Francis.
Nice, thank you. And now the very talented gentleman who has solved the problem of millions of parents whose children say to them, "Where did I come from?" Appropriately enough, has now a record album called just that, "Where Did You Come From?" Mr. Art Linkletter.
It is my pleasure to introduce the omniscient and peripatetic columnist who is just packing her bags to go to Hartford, where she will be given the Humanitarian Award on Wednesday by the Bennett Brit, Dorothy Kilgallen.
Thank you. And now our omniscient publisher panelist, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
I've just come back from the great state of Maryland, visiting the English teachers there and the friendly rivals, Governor Millard Torres and ex-Governor Ted McKeldin. McKeldin ran for mayor of Baltimore recently, and one of his slogans was, "I am the John Daly of Baltimore, and what a wonderful country this is." He was elected by a landslide. Here's the John Daly of What's My Line.
I think we all have frustrations of one kind or another. One of mine, I think, probably is that I've always wanted to be able to sing opera. I particularly wish I could sing opera tonight because it's Arlene's birthday. And I wonder if Bennett and Art... This might set television back 7,000 years, but if Dorothy and Art and Bennett want to join me, we could do the usual.
Why not?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Arlene. Happy birthday to you. Now, actually, Bennett asked me to create an opportunity for an audition for the newest musical comedy coming to Broadway, and this is how we arranged it. You didn't make it, Bennett. I'm sorry. But I'm sure that at least you'll try hard in the next half hour to guess some very interesting occupations. We will also have a famous mystery challenger before my friends on the panel a little bit later in the program, and we'll meet our first challenger after this. Well, you know, Arlene, is in a kind of a birthday present. I traveled this week, as Bennett did. I went to Louisville, Kentucky for the annual Conservation Congress, and I bring you back a carload of good wishes from the people of Kentucky.
That's nice. They're lovely down there. They've been darling to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really remarkable that I've traveled so many places and I'm so young.
Well, will our first challenger enter and sign in, please? William Crowell or Crowell, sir? Crowell, how are you? Where are you from, Mr. Crowell?
Florida.
From Florida?
Florida.
Ah, fine. May I present our panel? Crowell, now will you join me over here, please? Do you know how we keep score?
Yes.
All righty. In that event, we'll let the audience at home and the audience in the theater know exactly what your line is. All right. panel, we can tell you that Mr. Crowell is salaried and deals in a service. And I think we might begin the general questioning with the birthday girl, Arlene Francis.
Thank you, John. Well, Mr. Crowell, you have a very learned expression. Do you have anything whatsoever to do with education?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, but I would say here that this is true, but it tends to be a byproduct of the basic service, so that you're not misled.
I am. Do you go to the people rather than the people coming to you in your particular job?
No.
Nope, that's one down and 9 to go, Mr. Linkletter.
We haven't established yet that he goes to or is arrived at by people, so perhaps we should determine whether the education has to do with people or... Am I stating this correctly?
No, I think you are, Art. I would say, yes, it does have to do with people, but I stress the point, the education is only a byproduct of the basic service, so don't I concentrate on it. You go ahead, Art.
Does this service that you provide help men and women?
Yes.
Does it help children?
Yes.
Does it require that you work with any special kind of apparatus or any, as we call it in show business, props?
Yes.
Are these services involving these properties something which will bring pleasure and joy to the people?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And as a result of this, they will profit financially as well?
No.
No, that's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Then, Mr. Crowell, they are amused or entertained by what you do, and possibly a little educated, too.
Yes. Yes.
Is it necessary for you to use your voice in your work?
Yes.
Do you have what might be called audiences that you appear before?
Well, I would say we would have to agree, Dorothy, that if you use the term audience generally, that when Mr. Crowell is performing his service, he certainly performs it to people in mass, and they could be considered an audience for some of the basic functions that he performs.
I see. Do you ever sing, Mr. Crowell?
Do you ever sing?
No.
No singing. That's 3 down and 7 to go, and here's another one who doesn't sing, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Crowell, is there anything spiritual or religious in the work that you do?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
Even though you do not sing, is there music in some way associated in your work?
No.
That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Linkletter.
We've established that you do use props, and I'm curious to know whether by chance, since the audience seemed to enjoy the introduction, if these props are ever alive.
No. No.
6 down and 4 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Are these props which you pick up in your hand?
No.
7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Crowell, you just said you were from Florida. Is there any particular reason why you didn't tell us what part of Florida you're from?
I will answer that. Yes, Bennett. We did not identify the specific locality for fear it might suggest too much to you.
A sneaky fellow, John. Mr. Crowell, would you be located on the west side of the Florida state rather than the east side? The western...
You mean the St. Petersburg, Tampa side?
Along the Gulf of Mexico rather than along the Atlantic Ocean?
No.
Let me have a smoke, because I have to get straight on
You'll
something.
get into trouble with the Mississippi River again.
No, I want to know it's Tampa, St. Petersburg, or the Miami Beach, Daytona Beach.
I think we can fairly give you a big fat no, Bennett, and I do it with some pleasure. 8 down and 2 to go, Miss Francis.
I don't know east from west, but do you have anything whatsoever to do with sports?
No.
9 down and 1 to go, Mr. Linkletter.
Only one to go, I made shoot the works.
Yeah.
You are from Sarasota, Florida, and you work with the circus.
No.
That's 10 down and no more to go at all. Actually, Mr. Crowell is from Ocala, Florida, which impinges upon or is neighbor to Silver Springs, and he is captain of a boat named Arlene Francis. I Mr. Kroll has been a captain of at Florida's Silver Springs
I
with the
know it.
glass bottom boats. He's been a captain there for 33 years.
It has a
35
glass
years.
bottom.
He has
No
the glass
crack,
bottom
Arlene.
that's named Arlene.
But I mean, that's what it is.
It has, yes, right. It's a glass-bottomed boat, Arlene, yes.
Yeah.
And it's named Arlene Francis, and it was named after you when you went there with a home show in 1957.
7?
Is right. 57 is right.
How's business?
Does she have any barnacles?
It's my
No
birthday.
barnacles. No barnacles.
What do you see in the glass bottom, Mr. Crowell?
Well, fish.
What kind of fish?
Well, 25 variety.
25?
25. Yeah.
Turtle, vegetation, spring.
Now, let me hasten to explain. That's why I said there is education in a general sense connected with it, because Mr. Crowell is not only captain of the boat, but he does the running narrative, the commentary, pointing out the different species of fish and
This has nothing to do with Cypress Springs, has it?
No.
no, this is Florida
Cypress
Silver
Garden,
Springs. Yeah. This is entirely different. So, Arlene Francis, boat captain, thank you very much for being our guest. It's nice to have had you on What's My Line. Will our next challenger enter and sign in, please? Donna Spence, right? Miss or Mrs. Spence?
Mrs.
Mrs. Spence. And where are you from, ma'am?
Pine Bluff, North Carolina.
Pine Bluff, North Carolina. Nice to have you with us. May I present our panel? Mrs. Spence, can you join me over here, please? Do you know how we keep score?
Yes, I do.
All right, we'll let the audience at home and the audience in the theater know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, Mrs. Spence is self-employed, deals in a product, and we'll begin the general questioning with Bennett, Cerf.
Mrs. Spence, does the product in which you deal, has it ever been alive?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Is it a useful product?
Yes.
Is it a product that men and women can both use?
No.
No, I think we'd have to give you a no. This is not to say men and women might not have some connection with it, but it would not be one that they would directly use. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Linkletter.
Is this an object, a product that would cost less than $1,000?
Yes.
I know how to vamp, don't I? It's an inexpensive item.
That's right.
Therefore, it would probably be used mostly by children.
No.
That's very good. 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
John, may I clarify the men and women? Did you mean men and women didn't use it at all, or they didn't use it together, or they didn't
No,
use
what
it
I meant was
separately?
men and women do not directly use it. They may have a connection with its use, but it is not, they do not directly use it when it is fulfilling its basic purpose.
Gee. Well, could I hold it in my hand?
Yes.
When it is fulfilling its basic purpose, could it be lying around the house somewhere?
No.
No. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, Mrs. Spence, if this isn't used by men and women, is the product itself used on some kind of animal?
Yes.
Is the animal a domestic animal?
Yes.
Is it a 4-legged animal?
Yes.
Is it either in the horse or cattle family?
Yes.
Is it in the cattle family?
No.
5 down and 5 to go. Arlene Francis.
Your product does something for or to or on a horse, right?
Yes.
Is it below the neck?
Yes.
May I rule out the saddle?
Yes.
So it's no bridle, no saddle. Is it something that would be used on the coat rather than the hoof?
No.
6 down and 4 to go, Mr.
She's a
Linkletter.
blacksmith.
It's something, I assume, then, that the people who buy it do not use it.
I beg your pardon? You want to start all over again?
Yes.
Yes, you start all
I would
over
like to go
again.
back to Philadelphia and start all over again, where I drove in from. It's something that the people who buy it would use by holding it in their hand while they were in, on, or near, or at the horse.
Oh, you were talking to us?
Those are the kind of sentences I've been hearing you use for 14 years.
Well, this is a delicate decision for me to make then. 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
What did you get a no for?
I don't know.
Well, may I assume the horse doesn't go out and buy this himself?
Very good, he doesn't.
Then someone must purchase this product of Mrs. Spence's and give it to or do something with it in connection with the horse, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you imagine that living a city life as I have most of my life that I would ever have heard of this product? Is this a familiar type product?
Yes.
It isn't anything like false teeth for horses or contact lenses or anything like that. Is the horse better off and happier for having this?
We like to think that all of our horses are extremely happy.
Well, this has been called useful, so it wouldn't be just something decorative like a little feather to wear in his hat or something like that.
Yes, it is not decorative, no.
Would the horse ever put this in his mouth?
No.
I hope not. That's 8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Spence, it seems to me we drifted away from a bit of real information we elucidated. This product of yours does get put on the horse somewhere around its hooves, is that right?
Yes.
Well, would it have anything to do with horseshoes?
Yes.
Are you a blacksmith?
No.
I'm going to flip the card over because makes horseshoes is right. Bennett, you were right next door to her. Actually, Mr. and Mrs. Spence make horseshoes for race horses, and I believe your firm is Racehorse Horseshoes, Inc., isn't it?
Racehorse Shoes Incorporated.
Race Horseshoes Incorporated, and
Are they different for races? They have little rhinestones on them or something like that?
Oh, no, but they're very special. Actually, most of their shoes are made for trotters, you know. And this kind of shoe is not ideal for a flat racer, and certainly for a dray horse would be almost useless. So it's very particular.
Can you use those shoes for pitching horseshoes, or are they different?
No, they're too light.
And how long are they good for? Several races?
Oh, I would say maybe a week to 10 days on a horse that's racing.
How much do they cost?
Well, it depends.
Well, they have the low-heeled size, $7.95, and the high heels and the wedges.
They're all open toe.
It all depends. I mean, of course, the platinum ones are expensive, but I imagine they can range from about $1 up, can't they? Is that fair?
They're less than $1.
Less than $1, some of them. Yep. A pair. So there we are. That's less than $1,000. Thank you very much, Mrs. Spence. Nice to have you with us. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a word from our sponsor. And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger, for which, as always, my friends on the panel are blindfolded. Blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? All right. Panel, as you know, in this case, a different form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Are you a handsome He-Man type?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Are you a lady?
Yes.
Miss Francis.
Would your name be found in the entertainment section of the newspaper?
Yes.
Mr. Linkletter.
Are you on the stage?
Right now?
Ever?
Yes, sir.
Miss Kilgallen.
When you are on the stage, do you sing?
Sometimes.
Mr. Cerf.
Are you at present appearing in a play on or near Broadway?
No, sir.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Are you appearing in a club
Yes,
or a
ma'am.
hotel? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linkletter.
Are you known to be from Hollywood or as versus the East?
No, sir.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Are you, in fact, rather a triple threat girl who can sing, dance, and act?
You're very kind, yes.
Carol Lawrence?
Yes.
Yes. I guess probably triple threat is understating it. A magnificent performance in West Side Story, which is memorable and never will be forgotten. Presently, Arlene, I think, had a clue in the Persian room.
In the Persian room?
Yes.
At the
And
Hotel
delicious.
Plaza. I have an office in the Hotel Plaza.
Do you really?
Charles. Yes, I always think it gives me a lot of elan. don't
That
you?
makes us neighbors.
Yes,
You've
thank
never
you.
come to say hello?
John,
Well,
not
we'll-
doing business hours.
I beg Mr. Cerf, I don't know if you were aware of this or not, Carol. He also has ambitions to sing.
I didn't realize that.
Yes, and we auditioned him tonight.
Well, I need a third boy if you feel inclined. I'd be more than glad to have
Well,
you
if
join
you
me.
need-
Happy to speak to you after we get rid of Mr. Daly.
I might say this, Cerf, if you need a third boy, that is not the fellow that you're...
Oh, I think he'd be delightful.
I don't think he cares. Well, needless to say, we have had the joy of having your good husband, Robert, with us, Robert Goulet, and we thoroughly enjoyed his visit. I hope he enjoyed being with us, and we
Yes, he did. He had a wonderful time. He usually does.
wish you both much happiness
Thank you, John.
and much more success, which I'm sure will come automatically.
You're very
But the
kind.
happiness, I think,
Thank
must
you.
come with it. Nice to have you with us. Well, I think you had a rough start, but you rather redeemed yourselves that time, panel, and we'll agree that you get some congratulations. We will be back after this word from our alternate sponsor. Now, Arlene, I'd love to burst into song for you again because it is your birthday, but you can rather overdo this thing. The public will only suffer so much, so I will just say many happy returns of the day and good night, Miss Arlene Francis.
Thank you, dear John, very much indeed. Good night, Art. It was lovely to have you visit us again.
Thank you. It was a delight to be here and keep my record intact. A perfect 0 in 12 years. Dorothy, happy humanitarian on Wednesday.
Thank you very much. See you in Hartford, I hope. Goodbye, Bennett.
John, I'd like to say we have a minute. A lot of people ask us if John and I really are angry with each other. Speaking for myself, I love him very much. We're just kidding. Good night, John.
And his affection is reciprocated, and thank you all for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman. Johnny Olson speaking.